Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got a fun one for you today. This was requested a few videos ago. We did some floating buttons that pop up and down a bit like this does right here. Somebody was asking if we can do it with a toggle module and have some content actually in it. Yeah, no problem at all. Here we got a toggle module. It's floating up and down, as you can see. I've also got the background color changing, so it's a real attention grabber. When you hover your mouse over it, it's going to stop. When you click on the little toggle, it's going to open up to reveal whatever content you want to put in there. Close it up, take your mouse off, it's going to start bouncing up and down again. And it's fully responsive. If we take a look at an iPhone now, I'm going to hit my F12 key. Here it is on an iPhone. If we roll down, there's our little toggle changing color and floating. Going to click on it. It's going to stop and change color. Hit the little toggle. It's going to toggle down the content for us. Really nice little feature. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. And let's go down to where we want to work. I've got a row here, the green tab. Inside, I've got a little module. Let's get rid of the whole thing. And we'll start from scratch. Okay, I'm going to add a new row. Just click on any row. Little green button there. Add a new row. I'm going to use a single column in mind today. It's going to prompt us to put a module in. I'm going to use a toggle module. Now this actually answers another question that I had. I haven't made a video for it. Somebody was trying to use an accordion module and just have one of them, but couldn't have one of them because every time they had one it was automatically open. So what you need to do in that case is just use a toggle module, single one like this, rather than an accordion. Then you can set the state here to closed or open if you want. I'm going to keep mine on closed. Obviously, put in what you want your title to say. And you might want to spell that right. Put whatever content you want down here. Let's just grab a bit of content. I'll paste it back in there. And you can add media and things like that if you want to. Let's just chuck a couple of images in. I think I had these two in there before. Select one. Let's maybe add another one. And that one. Okay, I'm going to leave mine just like that for the moment. We'll go over to my design tab. The icon itself at the top there, that's our little toggle. I'm going to leave it on the default color there. Of course, you can make it any color you want here. Like I say, I'm going to leave mine that sort of default gray. The text, I want all of my text in the middle. I'm actually going to go back to my content and give this a background color. Background's always under content here. Just hit the background. Let's make it perhaps not a full black. Choose my 2424. It's almost black that I quite often use. That's great. Can't really read that writing. So let's go back to our design. That's our title text right there. We can do the title text, closed title text, and body text all separately if you want to. My closed title text, I'm going to make it white in color. Let's perhaps make it semi-bold so it stands out a little bit better. And obviously capitalize or do what you want. I'm going to leave mine just like that. If we open this thing now, here we've got our content with our two little images. And again, the writing's a little bit dark there. You could do both of them under just text there. Let's do our body text here. And of course, you can have different fonts and everything you want there. It's centered already. Let's make sure it's in the center. I'm going to make it white so we can read it a lot better. Perfect. Just exactly what I want. Okay. Let's close that toggle up. And let's make the magic happen now. What we want to do is we want to have this changing colors. And we're also going to have it floating up and down. So we need to add a little bit of CSS to do this today. Don't worry, as usual, I've done it all for you. If we go over to the Advanced tab, we're in the toggle, down to our Custom CSS. We're going to use the Freeform CSS tab here, so we can write a little more complex CS. I'm going to write selector. That's basically telling it this module. So anything we apply under selector will be applied to this module. let's open and close some curly brackets. I want to animate it so it floats up and down, and also so it changes color. So I can say animation, colon. We've got to give it a name. Let's say togcl. That's my shorthand for toggle color. You can call yours what you want, but it needs to be unique. I want mine to run for about 5 seconds. 5s. I want it to keep on going and going, so I'm going to say infinite. And I want it to be smooth, so I'm going to say linear. Great. Now we've done that, we need to create our little animation called togcl there. We're using keyframes to do that today, so I'm going to write at keyframes. Then the name, which is togcl. Now we're going to open and close some more curly brackets and actually make something happen. Now keyframes are great for animations. It's a bit like stop frame photography. You've got a timeline here and you can tell it what you want it to do during that timeline. So when the page loads at 0%, the beginning of second one of our 5 seconds there, let's open and close some more curly brackets here. I initially want it to have a red background, so I'm going to say background, colon, red. I'm going to put a semicolon there. As you can see, it's actually got a red background there, and it's kind of changing from red to that dark initial color anyway. But I also want to make it float. In fact, let's just do the color change first, then we'll do the float afterwards. So I'm going to select it from the 0% to our first curly bracket there. I'm going to copy it, Control C. I'm going to drop down, paste it in. I've pasted in 4 lots there. You can do as many or as few as you want. Let's say 33%, 66%, and back to 100%. Tidy that up. Okay, at 33%, I'm going to have it change from red to purple. So I'm going to grab that and say purple. And you can use hex codes here, RGBAs, whatever you want. I'm just using these web colors for simplicity. Now after the purple, I want it to turn blue. And then when it gets round to the end of our 5 seconds, 100%, end of second 5 there, I want it to go back to being red. As you can see right now, it's cycling through those colors there. And that's a really great effect. That's going to get people's attention really quickly just by doing that. But if we make it float up and down a bit, he'll give it even more attention. And that's very easy too. After our little semicolon there, I'm going to say margin, dash top, colon. Initially, I want it to be 0. So basically where it is. I'm going to copy our margin top 0 right there. After the purple, I'm going to paste it in, Control V. I'm going to turn that 0 into negative 20 pixels. So it should go up by 20 pixels. As you can see, it's starting to bounce. Fantastic. Here, I'm going to have it go down by 20 pixels. So I'm going to paste that, Control V in there, and just have that as 20 pixels. Now that's floating up and down nicely. And of course, at the end, I want it to be at 0, so it ends where it's going to start, which is the normal position there. That's it. It's floating up and down, it's changing color, just exactly what we want. But because it's floating up and down, when they put their mouse on it to click for more info, I want it to stop. And when they toggle, I want it to be stopped going up and down so they can read it without getting seasick. So that's really easy to do. Let's take this whole top bit, selector, to that first closing curly bracket there, Control C. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to paste it in there, Control V. Right after the R of selector with no gap, I'm going to put a colon and the word hover. We now created a hover state. So I'm going to say animation, none. We don't want it to animate at all. I'm going to stop everything when they hover over it. Now, when I hover over it, it's going to stop and go back to our original color there. Now you can put a little transition duration in the regular version if you want to just make it a little bit more graceful. So let's say transition, duration. I'm going to give mine maybe 0.7 of a second. Now that just makes it slightly more graceful when they stop it. Not a whole lot there, but that works for me. Great. Well, that's all our coding done. It's doing exactly what we want it to do, but we've got a bit of a problem, and I'm sure you've spotted it. Our whole site here is pulsing up and down. I don't want this bottom bit, this next section, going up and down at all. Looks like it's breathing there. So to stop that, we can go into the row, just roll over it, green tab for the row. We can give this a minimum height. If we go over to design, sizing, minimum heights here. Let's try 150 pixels. Just put in 150. It'll put in the pixels for you. That's better. We've got no movement below now because we've got a bit of breathing room for this to go up and down without affecting the section below. Now, if it needs to, it can get bigger because we've used minimum height. Well, that's fine. So we should be good to go. Let's check it. Save what we've got going on here. Save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. Let's exit the visual builder. And here we have it. As you can see, it's floating up and down nicely and changing color. That's really going to get your attention. When we hover over it, it's going to stop. Go to our original background color there. You can hit the toggle. And it'll open up, reveal your content. Hit the toggle again. It'll close up. Take your mouse off. It's going to start back up, bouncing up and down. As you saw earlier, it's perfectly responsive if I hit my F12 key again. Let's roll down. There it is. We got it changing color, floating up and down. It's not affecting that section below there. One little click on it. It's going to stop, change color. Hit the little toggle there. It's going to open up to reveal our content right there. Just exactly what I wanted. So I hope that's answered that question for you. There is how to make a toggle float up and down and have a color changing background. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you, or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.